Hi everyone. This morning I just wanted to do a quick market update looking at the pre-market charts. Do me a quick favor and like and subscribe and watch the video till the end to help out the channel, and let's get started. So starting off with the SPY here, you can see the big down move. We got the rally into the end of the session. We expected a little bit of rally here. Right now the target is right around that 182 area, right around the 55 and 144 EMAs here on the hourly. Momentum seems to be fading. We've kind of flattened out here on the 7 o'clock candle. Still have about half of that candle left, but we're finding resistance at the 22 October lows in that pre-market area. So expect a little bit more rally. I would probably look for about another dollar somewhere in there, maybe even up to the trend, which would be 582.70. It's about $1.50 higher, $1.70, somewhere in there. And then once we touch those areas, I'm expecting rejection. So breakdown, retest, breakdown. And then once you start to look at targets, first one obviously is 579.78. That's the current support. And then below that, at least a double bottom in here, 574.71. And then typically this is a lower high type setup. So if we did reject from even current price to that next support level, that would be about a 1.9% down move. Obviously, we need to see some of these levels start to break. Right now, we're still holding up okay. But either way, I do think this is going to go lower, and we're still sitting in that same thesis. And then looking at the Tasty charts here on the 1 hour for the SPY, you can see that big breakdown, huge overthrow. Makes sense why we got a little bit of a bounce here back above that lowest ATR band. Now we're in the middle of the range, hitting that ATR trailing stop, which is right now 581.07. Makes sense why we're finding so much resistance in there. You can also see the EMA ribbon really consolidated in this area, 181.30 up to 181.63. So a little bit different levels here on the hourly on the Tasty charts, but definitely finding resistance, waiting to see if this can get into bullish conditions. Right now, you just got a little bit of a flip. Obviously, that candle needs to close before that holds, but you can see we've had a little bit of choppy action, bearish conditions here, back to bullish, back to bearish, back to bullish. Now we're in bearish, waiting to see if this is going to flip or not. Overall, though, you can see this is definitely starting to trend lower. ATR bands definitely trending a little bit lower. Momentum stepping down there. So critical zone, I would take it with a grain of salt here on the ATR trailing stop if that ends up holding. Looking at the NASDAQ, same thesis here. Breakdown, find support, retest, hitting the trend line perfectly already this morning. Waiting to see what happens here. The trend is resistance, which is basically exactly where we are now. Current support, 492, waiting for that area to break. And then once you start to see these breakdowns, again, similar to the SPY, first support, about 0.25%, but then after that, the previous low is a 1.25% move from yesterday. And then if we break down further to that next level, that's about 2.33% lower from current price. So seems like we're going to have a pretty significant down move, in my opinion, at least to that zone. And you can see that really only takes us back to the lows from the beginning of October. Not even. You can see the lows from that 1 October was all the way down at 477.69. So even if we did round trip the October move, that would be around a almost 3.25% down move. Obviously, I don't think that's all going to happen today. It's not impossible. We've seen moves like that before. You can see this move here from top to bottom was about 2% within a pretty short time period. Wouldn't shock me to see a move like that, but I wouldn't say 3% in one day, not without some kind of catalyst. And we do have the Tesla catalyst holding up markets, at least in the short term. And then looking at the Tasty charts here for the NASDAQ on the hourly, same thesis really. We're getting right to that ATR trailing stop, which is at 493.43. Finding that clear resistance there. It's been flat. We've rallied right to it. This is the zone where you would expect resistance. Momentum still pretty strong, still finding resistance in there. And then looking at that lowest ATR band, which would be your price target, which actually takes you pretty much right to this previous low, currently sitting at 486.67. So looking for at least a double bottom within the day. We'll see if it can break through there and continue lower. These bands will continue to form, obviously, as price continues to progress. But right now, hitting that key resistance that we talked about on the other charts. Remember, this is your trend resistance, and it's clear that price is stumbling at that level. So same thesis, really. Slightly different levels here on the EMA ribbon. We're above all of them slightly, but still finding resistance at the ATRs. Again, looking for that double bottom. And then in terms of plays, you can see ROKU here. We were looking for the breakout, and instead we got a double top, and then we got a breakdown below the SMAs. Current support, I moved this down slightly to 73.54, which is right at these lows from this kind of consolidation period. Came right to that level yesterday, catching a small bounce in the pre-market. Really, I want to see this break. At this point, this looks more bearish to me after the breakdown yesterday. And then same thing as everything else. First support, about 4%. Next support, about 8.75. And then the next support for me would be about 11.5. And then it wouldn't shock me to see this round trip the move all the way down to these lows around the 55.50 area. ROKU's super volatile, can absolutely make moves like that. You can see this move here from top to bottom was 43%. So honestly, to this next level would not be a huge move, but I'd still be patient watching that 73.54 level. Maybe it holds support and breaks out from here. If it does that, obviously there's a lot of upside potential up into this $100 range. So critical zone here, watching ROKU. Pretty good potential for a volatile move in my opinion. Next up, we got AMD. It's currently in this kind of pocket here. So I have my primary trend right here, marking these lows here to here. And then if you do a shadow trend to this low here, pretty much marks that low perfectly. Honestly, you could probably move it just a smidgen, very, very close to that current low. And then you can see we're getting a little bit of a bounce in the pre-market this morning. And then looking at that here, breakdown, looking for the retest, continuation lower. But if it does get back above 157.50, maybe we start to see a swing to 165. Otherwise, looking for a retest, hit these trends here and then break down. You can see once they broke, that's when we got that bigger acceleration. So this is a downtrend. I would expect it to reject and then make some lower lows, but in the short term, finding a little bit of a bounce to here, 157.50, maybe the trend here, 156. Momentum technically bullish, RSI technically bullish. Counter trend rally in the short term, looking for some bigger breakdowns within the next week of trading, potentially the next 2 weeks. And then we got Tesla. Let's follow up on the Tesla move. So that ended up closing up 12.12%. Massive move back above all the EMAs and SMAs here on the 12-hour chart. Currently looking for a push up to 255.44. Or potentially up in that 268 area. Everything looks good for a continuation to the bullish side. We're almost overbought already, so that could be a little bit of hesitation. If we do see markets start to sell off, this could be a victim of just an overall selling market. But you do have a big catalyst, you do have a big move. It does look bullish here, at least in the short term. And technically this is a higher low from these previous lows here. Depends on how you look at it. Want to see it hold this level. Maybe we retest 232.57, pull back, hold that area and then continue up. Something like that would be good. But right now this does look super bullish. Waiting to see how much follow through it has left in it. Potentially that 255.44 level as your first target. Let me know down in the comment section what you think of the current market structure. Are we going to get that retest breakdown or are we going to break through and get the breakout higher? Let me know. Otherwise, like and subscribe if you got any value out of this video and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Of course, none of this is financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes. Good luck in your trading and have a great day.